What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, YouTube family. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Rachel Singh back on here with another banging exhibition for you. I am so excited to be putting together this video. It's not the normal video that I normally do. As you can tell from the title, guys, many of you may not know I'm a career coach and a hiring manager. And so, as you can tell from the title, I want to share some information that I think will be beneficial to my YouTube family. Today's video is a little bit different as I want to connect with you in a different way. It's almost the end of a first quarter of 2022 and a lot of different things are happening, and so with all the uncertainty, I just wanted to share this information. Get your pen and paper, it's ready, guys. Before I get into the video, I want to highlight today's art feature. As you all know, you're a Jamaican artist, and this is a vintage piece that I did maybe about 20 years ago. It is framed. It is a female and a lady vintage art piece. So this is my feature. Enjoy this beautiful masterpiece. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at rachelsingh.com. You can also follow me on TikTok. The link is in the description below to all my social media platforms where I can be reached. So get your pens and paper out. So you don't want to miss anything, guys. So get ready. Before I get into the main subject though, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and if this is something that you want to see, you let me know, drop a comment, and don't forget to check out my website at www.rachelsingh.com. So guys, like I stated earlier, I am a career coach and hiring manager, and so some of the things that I'm going to share with you are things that you may know already. I just want to reiterate some of the main things that, you know, some of the basic principles, key principles that I believe that are really helpful and that has helped many ambitious professionals that I've come across and assisted them in landing job offers. Okay, I just want to assist you in understanding some of the basics that you will need in order to make yourself more attractive to a hiring manager or recruiter, steps in helping you to become more confident in your approach, in your search, become successful in your job search. Once these steps are followed, you're gonna have a lot more luck than people who are still looking. And if you're still looking, there's nothing wrong. If you're still looking, don't take it personal if you do not hear from a hiring manager or you are not contacted. Do not place your value based on whether or not a call is returned to you. You just need to know who you are. You need to know what you're doing right, understand what you're doing wrong, and understand what it is that you are good at now. And just to acknowledge, what do I need to improve on, and just be more strategic rather than emotional about it. You know, just be strategic, not emotional. So guys, hopefully some of my tips can help some of you, if not everyone, in applying or approaching employers by applying. And most of these job applications are sent virtually now, whether by Instagram or some other website. The jobs are being placed. There is a specific site for you to apply to. So hopefully the tips I'm about to share will be very helpful to you. And the first thing I want to highlight, obviously, is your resume. Now guys, your resume is so important. It represents you, it speaks for you. It will either open or close the doors, literally. So I just want to say this, guys, Do not submit a basic high school resume. I know many of us are taught at some point in time in school how we should put together a resume. Many of us, even way beyond high school years, are still using a basic high school resume. Do not do that, okay? You don't need an objective on your resume. And that's my opinion anyway. You don't, some of the cliche things, they're not required. And so your resume has to be compelling, it has to be strategic, and it has to represent you well. Okay, so you can avoid mention your skills, your actual skills. Some persons like to put things like I am a team builder, and all of those soft skills are good, but they're not as compelling as actual hands-on skills. So you want to highlight those when you're doing your resume. Some people put everything. Do not put every single detail on your resume. Your resume should not exceed 2 pages, if that much, right? So you want to condense it. I suppose it is how we were taught, because some persons, and tell me if I'm wrong, so you're creating your resume, and especially in the experience section, you're thinking, okay, so I was a secretary at this company. What did I do as a secretary? Oh, I used to record data, and they put that down on your resume. If you have skills, you want to list them and identify the ones that best represent you for the particular position that is being advertised. You don't want to dump everything on your resume. It's too much information, right? So the resume is the first tip. And as I said before, it has to be compelling. Your resume has to be compelling, and it has to be very strategic. So don't put everything on your resume. That only happens when you don't have a plan and you're not strategic. So you put everything down. Don't do it. That's mistake number 1, and one of the common mistakes I find on a resume. So the next thing you want to do as it relates to your resume, you want to break your resumes down in 3 sections. You want to look at your profile, professional experience, and also education. You want to break it down in those 3 main points. You don't need anything else. So under your profile, you want to give a brief description of who you are as a professional, what you're capable of doing, your background, your skills, and all of those things you want to incorporate under your profile. Whether or not you have experience, depending on whether you have just left high school or you have 5 years work experience, so that may vary. As it relates to the resume, because the resume is the most important part at this point in time, since this is what represents you. Your achievements. I know many of you have achievements from high school to college to you name it, and so you feel so compelled to dedicate an entire section of your resume to identify all of your achievements. I know it sounds good, but guess what? It's not. Because most of the times, what the hiring manager or the recruiter wants to see is how you came by these achievements. So my tip on the achievements is not to completely eliminate your achievements, but to right under that section where you have the professional profile, you state the achievement as you go along. So while I was working for 5 years at X company, this is what I was able to achieve. I was star performer of the year. While I was in high school, I was the director for the Key Club. What are your achievements? So list the achievement under the section that applies to it. Don't create an entire section for that purpose. When we look at a resume, it takes us between 5 to 10 seconds to determine whether or not this person is suited for the position. And what happens most times, you are not getting the call back, or you're not getting the desired feedback because you are not within that 5 minutes. You were not shortlisted. 5 minutes or 5 seconds, you are not shortlisted. 5 to 10 seconds. I know many of you invest a lot of time in creating your resume and to putting it together. You spend a lot of time in it, but the truth is it doesn't pass 10 seconds. I've met people over the years. I have a lot of experience. I've seen thousands of resumes, spoken to many persons, and so with my experience, and like most other managers, they are able to quickly scan through a resume and are able to identify whether this person is suitable or not. Make it short, make it brief, get to the point. As I mentioned before, soft skills are good. Like when you put on the resume that you're a team player or you're a team builder, that's good. That's a soft skill. But soft skills are not as compelling as technical skills. So I want you to understand that. So you want to emphasize more on telling us about your competencies rather than what you want us to hear, because that's what most persons put on your resume, and then you don't stand out, and the objective is to stand out. And I spent a very long time on tip number 1. Tip number 2, you need a different resume. You cannot just bulk mail out resumes for every position that comes out in the media or by advertisement. You can't just send out the same old resume every day, every time. You just copy and paste. You're sending out the same resume, and then you're wondering why you're not hearing from the companies. Why is no one contacting you? You know why? Because you have not tailored your resume for that specific position. We know a standard resume when we get one. We know a resume that has been sent over and over and over. And believe it or not, some persons go as far as to make the mistake to make errors with company names, and they're not properly addressed because they spend so much time copy and pasting. Don't do that. You shortchange yourself when you send out a standard resume. If you want to stand out, tailor your resume to the specific position. Most time when the ads are placed, the title is there, the requirements are there, and sometimes who you are to address the resume to is there. And even though all the information is there, people will still apply having not met the requirements and then wonder why they don't get the call back. Some persons will have errors in names, and it doesn't represent you very well. So try and avoid doing that. Do not mass send out emails. Your resume is not going to stand out because everyone is doing it. Everyone is sending mass emails. So you did not put any thought into the position and what is required, and tailor your resume according to that plan, and that is the route you want to go. So in short, you want to tailor your resume, you want to make it compact, you want to make it intriguing in order to attract your hiring manager. So finally, ensure that your resume aligns with the position that you are applying for, because your resume takes you right throughout. After getting the initial contact or the initial phone call, it's going to go on to other levels of management and other heads of department, and this is a document that is going to speak on your behalf. And you must think about it. How do you want to be seen? How do you want to be presented? Have I done my spell checks? You know, is this the information I want to present for this particular position? Tip number 3. Now listen, some persons may differ on this tip here. Tip number 3, reach out. Reach out, guys. Make contact. Don't just send the email and forget about it. Do your follow-up, do your research. Who is the hiring manager? Find out who the hiring manager is and send a resume directly to the person. You can reach out via email and you can reach out via LinkedIn. Whatever platforms are available, yes, take the step and reach out. I know some will differ and say that maybe that may seem a bit stalkish, and it could, but if you're doing it once, it's fine. But if you're sending me or sending any hiring manager of that matter multiple emails, or sending the same email to 10 other members of the same entity or company, then yeah, that kind of a bit weird and stalkish. And I'm just gonna put this out there: do not message an individual on their personal pages or profile. Right? When I say personal, I mean I'll have a personal profile where I do my art, and people will do their research and they'll find you and send messages. Oh, I haven't heard from anyone. Contact the recruiter. There's always an email and there's always information for you to communicate. So you send the resume, a week later or 2 weeks go by and you have not heard from anyone. Who can reach out. Do not sit and wait, because you know what? Sometimes it makes a difference. Sometimes reaching out makes a difference. And since I'm on that point, what you don't want to do is to reach out from your personal profile and it is not equipped for scrutiny. Yes, I said it. So if you're messaging from your Instagram page and you are wearing your hot girl summer outfit or your hot man summer outfit and you're not appropriately presenting yourself and it does not align with the position that we're recruiting for, don't do it. When someone sends me a message via a social media platform, before I respond, I look at their profile. Yeah, we do. We look at the profile. We look at how you like to hang out, how you like to socialize, because guess what? It says a lot about you. So be very intentional when you're applying. So I say tip number 3, reach out via email, reach out via LinkedIn. Don't call the people that don't know. But you know what? Why it's good to reach out? Because some persons will take it personal that no one reaches out to them. But hear what? Sometimes they don't reach out because the position may no longer be available, or they're no longer in the market of hiring for that post, or maybe something came up. You never know. Don't just assume that you're not good enough because you don't want to take it personal. But you never know. It really does though. When you follow up, it increases your chances of being contacted. And guys, I just want to say finally but not least, and this is just general, stop attaching your value to whether or not you're contacted by a company. Don't attach your value to it. It's really not personal and you should not take it personal. Many persons take it personal and they get depressed and they're thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. But where in your resume describes whether or not you're good enough? Where? Your resume doesn't have a voice. It certainly does not have looks. So do not attach your value to your resume. So what you should really focus on is to strategically write out your resume, like really put some thought into it, since this is the initial paperwork that will get you through many doors. And do it the right way. Spend some time. Yeah, it may take you some time, especially, but when it's done properly, you can tweak it for different positions when it's done properly, if you have a good resume. And like I said, don't let your resume pass 2 pages. Ensure that when you're sending it via email, you do not leave out the subject, guys. Yes, I've seen people leave out the subject. You put the attachment, there's no subject. There is no end, there's no beginning, there's just an attachment. Some of the attachments are not compatible with modern day technology, so they can't open. And worst of all, do not send a link to your resume. It's modern day. No one ain't gonna open any link to be spammed or get spammed. We're not opening unknown links, so ensure that you're using the right mediums and you are addressing the individuals that you are applying to increase your chances. I hope this video has helped someone. If it has helped you, and if you have a friend who you believe that this is helpful to, go ahead and send it to them. But you know, next time girl coming back with our big bad painting them right there. So this is just another side I wanted to help my family with. If you like the video, tell me say you like the video in the comments. If you want to see more content just like this and more about employment or more about hiring or how to conduct yourselves in interviews, feel free to reach out to me. You can drop me a line. My email address, just click the link below, turn on the bell so you'll not miss another video. All right, see you next time guys. It's a girl right here. It's a girl, Rachel. Yeah. I'm not sure what I'm gonna be up to next, but turn on the notification bell so you don't miss another video. See you next time guys. Take care. Bye.